My name's Bob Lazar. I'm known for working at a classified base and reverse engineered alien spacecraft.
Bob Lazar is one of the most famous modern physicists, albeit unrelated to actual quantifiable data or research. He's actually most famous for claiming to have worked within the secretive Area 51 research facility in the Nevada desert. In 1989, Bob revealed what he asserted to be top secret information relating to reverse engineering alien spacecraft and what was then an unknown chemical element 115. He has never changed or retracted his statements, despite the very real possibility of being incarcerated for espionage, and many of his claims have ended up coming to fruition. This is the story of Bob Lazar, Area 51, and the revelation of Element 115.
There's really no way I can prove it without revealing my identity and getting myself into more trouble than I have already.
Exactly what's going on up there?
Well, there's several, actually 9 flying saucers, flying discs that are out there of extraterrestrial origin, and they're basically being dismantled. Some are, well, in various stages of completion, built from other parts, and they're being test flown and basically just analyzed.
Firstly, I want to ascertain whether or not there is truth to what Mr. Lazar has been saying since the 1980s. We need to verify if he did indeed work within Area 51. The evidence obtained so far links him indirectly to the base. Most notably, he worked for Los Alamos National Laboratory. In May of 1989, Bob appeared in an interview with investigative reporter George Knapp. Mr. Knapp discovered a newspaper with Lazar on the front cover, which described him as a physicist at the facility. A clipping from a telephone directory also lists him as an employee of Los Alamos National Laboratory. There is also a wage and tax statement that appears to name his employer as the US Department of Naval Intelligence. However, there is a discrepancy here because there is no such department. It's actually just known as the Office of Naval Intelligence.
Concerning the UFO information you've given me, and his answer of no was indicated as being truthful on the charts. So whatever he told me that night, Bob Lazar truly believes to be the truth.
Now, what about this rare element that Lazar named as 115, which he claimed was used to create the gravitational field which gave flight to the alien spacecraft that he said was being reverse engineered? Well, it turns out that element 115 is real. In 2003, a joint team of Russian and American scientists discovered the heavy element, which was given the temporary name ununpentium. However, it was not until 2013 that it was officially recognized and added to the periodic table under the name moscovium. Whilst filming the recent documentary produced by Jeremy Corbell, Lazar had his business premises raided by local law enforcement officials and the FBI. The police report stated that the warrant was to obtain poisons that Lazar apparently sold through his business, United Nuclear. They found no evidence that linked his business to the poisons that were used in the homicide case that they were investigating. It seemed as though it was a convenience to arrive unannounced during the time he started to discuss his story once more.
Lazar had told us he was concerned about getting into more trouble than he was already in. He was referring to this. 2 months before the Dennis interview, Lazar began taking a few friends out to the desert on Wednesday nights. They focused their attention not on Groom Lake, but in the direction of Papoose Lake, which is where Lazar said he worked, a facility he called S4. And sure enough, on each of 3 outings, the groups witnessed a glowing disk rise above Papoose, even though officially there has never been a base or facility there. How did he know?
Area 51 has been shrouded in mystery for decades. The CIA didn't even acknowledge its existence until 2013. This secret that has been hidden in plain sight never shrank our collective curiosities. In fact, in recent weeks, a Facebook group has been created that now has over 1 million people apparently signing up to storm the base.
Shut the fuck up, I will fucking laser you with alien fucking eyes and explode your fucking head.
Humanity really does want answers to all the fundamental questions, like does the Upside Down actually exist, and can we defeat the Demigorgons without 11? But seriously though, when the SR-71 Blackbird and the F-117 were unveiled to the public for the first time, it became apparent just how advanced humanity's engineering capabilities were. Was this newfound technological advancement made possible through alien technology? Let's go back a few years, back to the 1940s, when Julius Oppenheimer and his team at Los Alamos Laboratory began researching and testing the world's first nuclear weapon. On July 16, 1945, codenamed Trinity was detonated in New Mexico. At the time, Japan was still waging war across the Pacific, despite Germany already surrendering to the European allies. America made the decision to create and detonate 2 more nuclear weapons, which would result in the destruction of the Japanese cities Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico.
Only 2 years on, the world learned of the Roswell incident. With multiple nuclear devices having been detonated, did aliens begin to take notice of our little blue planet during the atomic era? Perhaps I am making a big assumption here of the existence of extraterrestrials and their ability to traverse hundreds, if not thousands of light years to reach us. Scientists have theorized in recent years, after observing several stars dimming, that aliens may have constructed massive Dyson spheres around those suns. A civilization that can harness the power of a sun would almost certainly be able to reach distant planets. Assuming they do exist, and that they did visit us during that time, then wouldn't it be a David versus Goliath moment? A Type 2 Kardashev civilization would destroy our puny defences in minutes. If their ships did indeed crash here, as was purported to have happened at Roswell, then they were likely already dead. The Secret Service begins to recover the ships and debris, and anyone who questions their story of weather balloons is ridiculed. It's interesting to note that Colonel Philip J. Corso published a book entitled The Day After Roswell. In the book, he claims that he was assigned to a secret government program that provided some material recovered from crashed spacecraft to private industry without saying where the items came from, to reverse engineer them for corporate use. Corso was Special Assistant to Lieutenant General Arthur Trudeau, who headed Army Research and Development, and was in charge of the Foreign Technology Desk. In this position, he would take technological artifacts obtained from Russian, German, and other foreign sources, and have American companies reverse engineer that technology. The book contends that several aspects of modern technology, such as fiber optics and integrated circuits, were developed by using information taken from that craft. So, if what Bob Lazar says is actually true, then it gives credence to every purported alien visitation ever reported. It would mean that the Roswell incident actually did take place, that our governments have been responsible for the biggest cover-up of all time, and that the tinfoil hat guys were right all along. It's not time to say I told you so just yet, but the truth is most definitely out there.
Nickel 6-1 Tango, Roger, Roger. Roger, there's troubleshooting as soon as I get. Can you box moving target? 602.